Good evening, everyone. I'm Shane Chartrand here with another health supplement tip for the day. So today I want to talk about raspberry ketones and something that may disappoint you about raspberry ketones. And I'm going to let you in on raspberry ketones. So I remember when I first heard about raspberry ketones, I had a sales rep come into the store and she was showing me a woman's fat burner. First of all, I do not agree with women's fat burners, but I remember her pointing out raspberry ketones and she's like, oh, this is going to be the next big thing. And sure enough, the company went belly up. You didn't hear about raspberry ketones. And then one day, at like 10 after 4, I was working in a health food store. There was 2 other people that I was training. And the phone rang 10 after 4, and the guy working said, Shane, do we have raspberry ketones? And I said, no, we don't have raspberry ketones. I said, why? You know, we got off the phone, and he said, oh, Dr. Oz was talking about it. Now, this was right before the boom of raspberry ketones. So the phone rang at 10 after 4, and the phone had not stopped for about a year and a half. Everybody was coming in for raspberry ketones. Everybody was calling for raspberry ketones, and it was just non-stop. Everybody was going nuts over this stuff. So here's what happened. Dr. Oz talked about raspberry ketones on his show. Then people ran to the health food store looking for raspberry ketones. You couldn't find it anywhere because it was just one of those things. It was kind of ineffective. People weren't buying it, so there was no need. No company was really making it. So what had happened is we were contacting companies, and then, companies said, well, let's make raspberry ketones. So they'd make raspberry ketones, send it to the store. Everybody was eagerly anticipating raspberry ketones. So everybody's like, when I get my raspberry ketones, I'm going to take it and I'm going to lose a bunch of weight. So this is kind of the first thing with raspberry ketones that happened. Was this whole psychological thing, like we need to get our hands on this raspberry ketones because we're going to lose weight. And sure enough, it came in a few months later, and people started to buy raspberry ketones like crazy, and people started to lose weight. Now, people used it, and they used it, and they used it, they lost weight, and then they'd hear somebody, Doris down at the office lost 30 pounds from using raspberry ketones. I need it. And then they start, do I have to exercise with this? And they're just like, yes, you have to exercise with raspberry ketones. I don't know, the girl didn't do anything. She lost like 25 pounds. Everybody knew somebody who had an amazing success story with raspberry ketones. And then, everybody in the health food industry was kind of like, why is everybody looking or going after raspberry ketones? Like, we knew about it, like that it was one of those ingredients that wasn't really that effective any time before Dr. Oz had talked about it, but now everybody was using it and everybody was losing weight, and we were kind of puzzled. We were like, what's going on? Like, it was never around, ever. It wasn't in fat burners except for the one, and the company had gone belly up, but it was nowhere around before that. Like, nobody was buying raspberry ketones. So I remember attending a seminar, and the expert talking was laughing about raspberry ketones. Hold on, I need some tea for this. This is the shocking part. This is crazy because it kind of answered our questions. Yeah, my tea should be ready. Okay. Hold on. Okay, so yummy. So the guy was talking about raspberry ketones, and he's like, well, what we had found in the studies for raspberry ketones was they gave doses to mice, and at that dose, the mice had apparently lost weight for their body size. The problem with that same dose is what they were giving adults. So it's like the amount they were giving mice was probably working at a mouse's body weight, but at a human body weight, the amount that you're supposed to take of raspberry ketones is ineffective. So why were people losing weight? This is my thought, and this is a lot of people's thoughts that I've spoken to that deal with raspberry ketones. I mean, some people are totally pro raspberry ketones. Some people, like Doris down at the office, lost 30 pounds, and she tells everybody about raspberry ketones. So what happened was because raspberry ketones weren't available, everybody was so set to lose weight, okay? So they prepared themselves, they're like, I'm gonna lose some weight with these raspberry ketones. So they put themselves in the right frame of mind to lose weight. And then the other thing with raspberry ketones is you had to take it like 3 times a day. So most people, you know, they didn't think about what they were eating half the time. You know, they'd just, I don't know, have some carbs for breakfast, like a croissant or something, maybe skip lunch and have a big dinner. But no. Now they have raspberry ketones. They're prepared to lose weight. So what they're doing is they're taking it 3 times a day. And then, of course, they're more conscious about what they're eating. They're exercising more. They're like, I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to do anything to lose weight because of these raspberry ketones. So that's kind of the problem with raspberry ketones, is the dose that adults are meant to take is a dose that, now, I'm probably getting this wrong with the numbers and everything, but it's around what, come on, I'm blonde here, I'm not that intelligent. But basically what they were saying was the dose that you were taking of your pills is basically what they were giving to mice, and mice were losing weight at that type of dose. So an adult is not going to lose weight. So people were losing weight just because they were more conscious of what they were doing. They were making better choices in their food. They were probably exercising, and the weight just melted off of them. Kind of the thing you're supposed to do. So that is one of the reasons why raspberry ketones seem to be like this thing that everybody was losing weight on, because everybody was prepared to lose weight. And that became a big problem. And now with raspberry ketones, sure, you can still buy them, but it's funny. It's like companies that used to make it and sell it a lot, they've discontinued it. Like, you don't really find raspberry ketones in health food stores like you once did. So am I saying don't buy raspberry ketones? I'm not saying that. But I'm saying there's probably some stuff that is way more effective than raspberry ketones. So that's kind of my video and my thoughts on raspberry ketones, and a lot of people's thoughts in the industry about raspberry ketones is like, why does everybody want raspberry ketones? Like, it's never been popular because it's never been that effective, okay? Some people lost weight, and that's fantastic. If that's what they needed, that's what they got, and I'm glad they lost weight. I'm glad they got results. But it probably was not from the active ingredients in the raspberry ketones. And raspberry ketones, by the way, smell like raspberries. Great stuff. So if you're looking for a pill that smells like raspberries, go for raspberry ketones. So that has been my health supplement tip for the evening. If you've lost weight using raspberry ketones, let us know. I mean, I'm not saying that you've done something wrong, but I'm just saying if you're looking for something to lose weight, maybe there's some other things you can take. That's all I'm saying. Okay? So I'm Shane Chartron saying stay healthy, stay motivated, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, share it on social media, because you probably have a Doris on your social media and she probably wants to lose 30 pounds. It's always somebody named Doris at the office that loses the weight. I don't know, Doris or Sally or some weird name like that. Okay, I will see you guys in the next video. Talk to you later. Bye.